Hello, my darling bookish friends. It's your girl, Dr. Randy Nikhil, the bookish baddie, back with another bookish video. And this time, I want to talk about besties. So, I was just having a conversation with somebody and we were talking about what type of movies and books we like and storylines and things. And I was like, I really love a good portrayal of a friendship. The friendship doesn't even have to be the center of the story, but if there is a good friendship storyline in a book, in a movie, I'm going to be drawn to it every single time. That is what always stands out to me in a book, in a movie. So I want to talk about a handful of books that I feel like you should be reading with your bestie, or if you just enjoy solid friendship storylines the way I do. Some of them will be a little more unconventional, and it'll be like, there are friends in this, but maybe not the best ones. But let's get into it anyway. Okay, so here are a few of my recommendations. So, kicking it off with Sister by Eric Jerome Dickey. I recommend this book to people all the time. It is probably my favorite Eric Jerome Dickey book. This book deals with a few different women. So there's a set of sisters, and then there's another third woman who they come across by happenstance in life. And these three women are all going through their own individual challenges in their life at the time when they cross paths. Well, the sisters, of course, know each other, but they are even gaining closeness during this time. And the three of them build a friendship that is so strong that it transcends the end of the friendship. That's all I'm going to say about it. But this book feels like a warm hug and a kiss on the forehead. Highly recommend as a book club read, a buddy read with your bestie, or a solo read if it's just you. If you enjoy sisterhood, if you enjoy seeing women support each other through their shit, 10 out of 10. Love this book. I actually have 2 copies. That's how much I love it. Okay? And moving on, y'all know I can't never do a book list without Sula. Like, she just fits in every category. Sula, that girl, Sula. Okay? Now, this has a more complex friendship dynamic, because Sula's a special kind of woman. Sula's a special kind of, I don't have to play by the rules kind of woman. And so that pours into her friendships as well, because she's never playing by the rules. And that means she's also not playing by the rules of friendship. But does that make her a bad friend? This would be a great book for you and a friend, or you and a book club, to discuss and talk about what it means to be a good friend. Because Sula's gonna test your limits on that. She's gonna test your limits on a few things, but particularly that. So, highly recommend this one. Next up, y'all know I can't ever do a book list without Sugar, because again, she fits in everything. She's just that girl. So, Sugar is about a black neighborhood, and a woman comes in and shakes the town up, basically. So, the woman, Pearl, right? Let me make sure. Yes, Pearl Taylor is a respected woman in the community. Her and her husband, live in a house in the community. And this woman pulls up from off the bus. She fine, she's stacked, she moving in next door. And all the women in the neighborhood are like, she not finna be around here trying to take my man. I heard she was a whore. I heard she was blah, blah, blah. Ain't no way. I don't want her living here. And Pearl like, well, let me go see what she about. And they build such a fondness for each other, an appreciation for each other, beyond what you can even call a friendship. Like, I don't even know what to call it. It's so good. It's so rich. So this is a phenomenal bestie read, a phenomenal friendship read. Handle with Care. This is where it gets tricky. So let me just give you the premise. The main character, Charlotte, she has 2 children, one of which is named Willow. And Willow is born with a disease. If you've ever seen Unbreakable with Mr. Glass, Samuel L. Jackson, Willow is born with I'm not sure if it's considered a disease or disability, so excuse my, if I'm not being politically correct, but she's born with a condition that means that her bones break very, very easily. Like, she can walk too hard and her bones will break. And it's expensive for her family to keep up with the medical bills, the special things that she needs. It can be very expensive for them. And a lawyer catches wind of it and they're like, hey, like, your OB should have caught that while you were pregnant. You can sue and get medical malpractice. And she's like, oh wow, like that would really help our family, financially, if we could do that. The twist, the OB is her best friend. I'm gonna just leave that there. What would you have done? What would I have done? I'm not suing my best friend. That's what I would have done. Like, when I think about my best friend, I'm not suing my best friend. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? No, we'll figure something else out. But what would you have done? Because I also don't have children, so I can't relate to the feeling of choosing the betterment of my child or my best friend. I can't even imagine that. So tell me what you would have done in the comments. Now I'm curious. That's such a good moral, ethical question. Jodi Picoult is very good for making you consider your moral compass. What would you do in a very complicated situation that you might have thought was black and white until you add the layers of, the OB's her best friend. You're potentially ruining her career and her livelihood. You know what I mean? To increase yours. Like, excellent read. Okay. Waiting to Exhale. Y'all know the vibes? Does a friendship storyline get any better than Waiting to Exhale? Waiting to Exhale? I don't know that it does. Like, this is the ultimate girl storyline. This and the movie. We're following these 4 women who are going through, when I was a kid, I'm like, oh, they're, in their middle age and blah, blah, blah. And now I'm like the age that they were, maybe even a little older. And I'm like, wow, what a life-changing time that they're going through. Just the age alone, like being at the age I am now, I'm 35, I'll be 36 in a couple weeks. And I'm always thinking about just how different I feel than I did, 2 or 3 years ago, let alone to add in children and a husband or a boyfriend or, all these different layers, just, oh my goodness. But the way that they support each other, like the storylines with the men that they're dealing with, that's cute. The storylines with their children, that's cute. But the storyline of their togetherness, of the way they love each other, of the way that they care for and take care of one another, can't top that. And I remember watching this and watching Girlfriends and things like that as a kid and being like, oh, I can't wait to have friends like that. I can't wait to have those kind of relationships, and where you can just go to happy hour and vent with your girl, where you can bring your problems to them and, just have that open, safe space. And I'm just so grateful to say that I do have that with my friends. And like, it is one of the richest, how you see people say like, tell me how you know you're rich, and I'm not talking about money. That's one of them for me. One of the top ones for me. So, Waiting to Exhale. If you have not read it yet, you've probably seen the movie, but if you haven't read it, read the book. Read the book. Dolores Claiborne by Stephen King. I'm a big Stephen King fan. I'm working my way through his whole catalog. And Dolores Claiborne is one of his books that is unexpected in that he typically is known for horror, and this is not horror. There's also a movie with Kathy Bates in it. Love me some Kathy Bates. So check out the movie if you haven't. But the book is so good. It's written almost as a monologue, because it's written as Dolores, the main character, her speaking to a detective about something that has happened. And so it's like her recorded conversation. So the audiobook version is what I recommend. Sorry, you see my dog, his butt walking in the back, but it's her recorded conversation with the detective. But there is a very unlikely friendship that happens in Dolores Claiborne. So she is a woman in the Northeast, I believe. She has a husband and a daughter, and She gets a job as a housekeeper for a very rich woman who has a summer home where she lives at. And so she works for her in the summers, and then eventually the woman hires her to work for her while she's gone to, like in the winter months, just to keep the house up and stuff. And the woman is not nice. She's not a very kind or nice woman. Everybody fears her, you know, and so every time Dolores keeps getting hired back year after year, she's like, oh, I guess I'm doing something right, because she fires people in a heartbeat. She will get you up out of there if you're not, you know, using 6 pens on her laundry instead of, you know, you using 4 instead of 6. Like, she don't play. And something in Dolores's life happens, monumental, and this woman steps in and gives her not just the advice, but the resources and the go-ahead and the prowess and the knowledge to take care of what has happened in Dolores's life. And from then on, they're forever bonded. They never become friends, but something deeper, and not that, something deeper and more meaningful and more sturdy than friends. It's something. It's something. So I highly recommend that. There are plenty more books that I could go into, but I'm going to pause there. In the comments, let me know if you have a favorite book that gives you friendship vibes, that tells a friendship storyline, includes a friendship storyline, or that just simply makes you think of friendship when you read it. All right, until next time, bye.